Hello, and welcome to the next episode on the Cornerstone SMP server. And yeah, we're not in Minecraft, but we're over here in Grand Theft Auto 5, which I've been playing a lot of. And we're by the Oneil Ranch, and I got a lot of inspiration by this building that's up here. So let's go take a look at it. Alright, I really like the shape of this house. So let's take a look at it. So if you look on the right and look on the left, there's kind of like extensions out of the house. I'll kind of get it over here and take a look kind of at the side. So yeah, there's some small extensions right above my head there. And then this main porch is really cool. So you got 2 stories in the middle. And then there's a wraparound balcony on the right-hand side, and this one ends right above my head there. And then a wraparound balcony on the second story. And actually the porch ends a little further back here. So it just wraps around a little bit, but I really like this thing. Let's go take a look at the backside. Because even the backside's got kind of a cool shape to it. It's a little small porch right there. And then you got another porch on this first story and kind of a balcony on the second story. So this is really cool. I think we can make a Minecraft building like this, and it's actually, I think it ends up perfect because we have that horse stable that we did that really is kind of a little bit more fancier than most of the stuff that I have, and I think I can make a really good house out of this one. Alright, I think I got the layout here. So if you remember, there's a wing on that side, you can't quite see the end of it, and a wing on this side, and then the bulk of the house is going to be inside here. Let's go take a look at it real quick. So the front porch is going to come up here and then turn, and then the door will go into the inside. There's also a back porch where you can walk up, and I think the door is straight ahead. And then kind of another one where you walk up and I think you turn and the door's that way. And this will probably change as I kind of get it laid out, but I think this is going to be good. So the main porch I think is going to be too wide along the front of the house. And then too wide kind of in front of these windows, and we'll figure out the top once we kind of get it laid out. So yeah, let me get at least the foundation going. Alright, now that I got the foundation down, it's probably a little bit easier to see. So these are going to be the porches. This one wraps all the way around. Got a porch in the back and a porch there. So what's going to come down to is we're going to have doors here, 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 and here. And so now that we have the foundation down, we can do something like this. And I think that's the general idea. And then the roof is going to be a contrasting color. And then I think we'll stick with like jungle kind of accents here and there. Yeah, I think this is going to look really interesting. What I'll probably do, actually take a look and see how it's going to look, is mix in some oak. Let's see how that's going to do. So, I mean, probably just going to have to put a foundation all the way around. So I'll at least get this line done. Probably do... Well, I don't want it quite that stripey, but... Or... back and forth. Yeah. So you get the kind of the general idea is that we're going to mix this in for a little bit of variance. And then I got to get the windows in and stuff like that. But this is going to be a lot of placing because you see how big this thing is. And let's take a look from here. Yeah, it's going to be a big one. Very cool though. So it's not going to be as fancy as this. This is probably going to be one of the more plain houses that I've done, but it's going to be way more modern than any of these. This is definitely medieval. This one, not entirely sure how it's going to actually shape out to be. Chop, 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 chop. Chop, 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 chop. Chop, 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 chop. It's funny, this project has taken so much birch that I've been over here. I think this is probably the 4th or 5th time. This is taking up a large amount of area. Oak isn't too bad. I already had the oak from basically getting the leaves. So we're in good shape there, but the birch is killing me. I've been over here too many times. All right, I think I got enough resources. So you know what I haven't done in a long time? A time lapse. So let's get into it. Ruh-roh. I have a lot of roof to do. And, uh-oh. I have a sneaky suspicion here. We're completely out of blackstone. Dig, 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 dig. Luckily, blackstone isn't too bad to farm. You just find big chunks of it, and then you can actually end up getting a lot. Is there really fossil inside here? Well, that's kind of cool. All right, now I think I have enough blackstone. I found kind of another vein here that I just started. Where did I go? Tearing into. Yeah, here we go. So we just kind of emptied out this entire corridor here. And I wish I would have emptied my inventory out, but I think that will be enough to finish up the roof. Ooh, loaded. That was a lot of landscaping, and I'm not even done yet. So what we need to do is go around here and do the details, and I'm just going to do one item at a time, and right now it's going to be the berries, because I like that contrast. When you're kind of looking through stuff, you see like pops of red. It just makes the green a little bit better seeing that contrast. So for me, I just kind of spam them wherever, kind of tuck them a little out of the way. Some of them are on the path, but nowhere, like I wouldn't put it here where you'd actually run into it. Kind of just tuck them a little ways. And the funny thing is, I didn't intend on landscaping this kind of path beside the butcher, but I wanted to kind of connect everything in, so I ended up doing that. Yeah, so like here, I almost placed it there on accident, but I'll probably just kind of put it back here. And I don't know what the plans are for here, so this path may end up going that direction. Or maybe off here, but I've got it figured out. But for now, I just kind of put a tree row. You can kind of see how many trees. Did it about 3 deep, just so that when you're walking along this path here, and you kind of look through, you don't really see much. I mean, every once in a while, you'll see a torch, like right there, but it's not enough to distract your eyes. Like even here, I'd probably put a tree there, but there'll eventually be some stuff back there. But let me put some bushes kind of back here, maybe to distract it a little bit. Yeah, you kind of get the idea. So I'll go through and do the rest of it later. So the next one that I would actually end up doing is ferns. So you can kind of see I did ferns up to here, and it's just another shape that helps out. Yeah, you can kind of see here that it just gives it a little bit more shape, especially when you have something behind it. And let's go sleep here real quick. So inside, I'm kind of just trying to get some ideas on how to do it. I didn't quite want to do it exactly how Grand Theft Auto had it. Unfortunately, I made this area here a little bit too small. Theirs was probably double that, but I didn't want the roof to be so big. But they had like a closet here, the kitchen was here. There was just a lot of little small nooks and crannies that I'm not entirely sure I want to deal with. And just quite frankly, I just don't have the room for it. Yeah, so stuff like the ferns, just kind of dotted around. So another one I wanted to try, and you can thank Flip for this one, is the dark oak. So unless they're, basically 4 deep, it will not grow a tree. So as long as you have them single. So is that too much contrast? Oof, I've got to think about that one. Maybe in the back of something that actually might work out. But the next one I want to do is coarse dirt. So what I do is coarse dirt and then, of course, the dried butch, just to give it a little bit of contrast. And I usually stick those kind of in the corners, sometimes by these bushes. A lot of times it would be on like this edge here. However, I don't really like doing dead bushes on the edges, but that one you kind of tend to stay away from. But and then, of course, I want to scatter around the coarse dirt around the path, too. And every once in a while, of course, I would actually stick it in the path, something like that. It looks like I've done up to that point. Yeah, so I'll continue on that one. So what's some other stuff that we do? I know. So the other thing was this. It's really, really blue, but I tried some other... Well, actually, I tried all the blues up there, and against this birch and oak, this color just seems to be the best. So what I want to do is take this, and we didn't do it on the other side. Let's just do the planter boxes. Okay, that's going to be bothersome. And we're going to have to take this guy down. Yeah, so anyways, I will continue on with those. And I'm only going to do those on these little so-called wings. I am not going to do those on this story or that story. Yeah, so I mean, the other things that would do is dot around some rocks. We'll do something like that, bury them in, and I can get that around. What's some of the other things I could do? All right, the last thing that I need to do is put in some of these lampposts. And I've been just kind of dotting them around kind of like this. Not necessarily for light because we have this place all lit up, but just kind of strategic. And what I normally do is diagonal them kind of like this. And some spots you kind of got to think like where exactly would be, but for the most part, try to put them on like corners that would make sense. Like probably here. And sometimes I put them directly on the corner and sometimes I put them in a little bit depending on if it's like something like where if you were to kind of cut this corner here, I'm not entirely sure I'd want to put it there. In this case, I'll put it on the outside here. Perfect. Anyways, you get the idea. So I did all the landscaping here, dotted some rocks around, put some berry bushes, some the dried weeds. Let's take one last look through here. Nice and overgrown. I didn't want this to be polished. It just would have stuck out like a sore thumb. I'd love to do custom trees, but you see how many trees I actually put here. I think that probably would have been the death of me. I do want to get more and more into some trees eventually, but we did a lot of the small ones back there at the entrance to the portal. Yeah, so let's take one last look here. Oh. It's funny. Usually, if you crouch, you normally hang on. Doesn't matter with the velocity, but. Anyways, yeah, so those berry bushes give it a little bit of contrast, and same with the weeds. Just a little bit on brown. And then the rocks do a huge thing to break up a lot of the green. So if you're looking kind of in this area here, that rock there breaks it up a lot. Yeah, I could probably do some more over there, but it's not bad. I love this. I'll just take a walk around real slowly and show you everything that I actually got done. Oh, and real quick, I made like a little scene back here for sitting at a little pond. I think that's kind of good. And everything back here, I kind of made real thick so that you can't see what's going on. I actually thought about continuing this hill down, but it's good enough for now. And I decided to go overgrown with this. So I didn't want this to be, I mean, it's a fancy house, but I didn't want it to be like a plush lawn and all that kind of stuff. Because that would stand out like a sore thumb. And I mean, these two buildings are already way different from everything else. But yeah, let's take a good look at the front here. Yeah, I like it. And then the inside, I don't know. I kind of want to move in here so I could spread out and have a place to put stuff, but we'll see. So for now, it's just going to stay this way. And then the second story, there's just kind of like some, I don't know, you'd almost call them really long closets on either side. But not going to do anything with it this episode. Maybe next episode we'll decide to kind of decorate this out. But yeah, so let's go take a look at it from a distance here. Yeah, I am super happy how this came out. It looks amazing. Very large. It took a lot of resources. I went back for birch several times over, and I did so many bushes and trees in here that I am actually back behind there. There's an oak forest. I started destroying it. Yeah, I absolutely love it. Totally different from everything else we've done. But anyways, I'm going to wrap that up here. It was a long time lapse. I hope you enjoyed it. But if you're not subscribed yet, I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you enjoyed this content, hit that like button. Until next time, see ya!